you can also just throw out Miracle.
Yeah, I actually don't think
as a
Miracle's
front
that
runner.
bad. Yeah, I don't think Miracle's that bad to open up with.
Although we did
Um,
see Savjz play Tempo Rogue at DreamHack, I believe.
yeah.
So
Okay,
it's
double
possible
Shaman.
he's running that.
Double Shaman is what they're going to be leading out
Yep.
with,
And
and
all four Lightning Storms.
yeah, I mean they drew pretty darn similar, but
Wow.
Admirable's
Admiral kept
dropping the
both of
Rock
them.
Biter. Okay, interesting.
Admiral kept both Lightning Storms, and Savjz is thinking about dropping one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, Shaman's a really solid lead deck, and it looks like both of these players agree.
What do you think about dropping the Rock Biter? Usually, Rock Biter is one of those. That's the power of the Shaman, right? Having the ability to remove up to 3 damage really, really early. Sometimes
Yeah.
4 if you get a spell
But
power
you
totem.
you do have four of those kinds of effects,
Hmm.
and with the Rockbiter, if he doesn't have the Squire, he has no pressure whatsoever in his hand. And one of the ways you can lose a Shaman is kind of have to trade 1 for 1 or so, like over and over, and then you just end up with having like clunky kind of end game stuff
Right.
at the end of the game, and you can only play like one thing at a time.
Okay, so Admirable's out to a really quick start, gets that Argent Squire out in the totem. Savjz is trying to figure out, should I remove some of those guys or should I try to establish my board? And he chooses the latter, gets that Unbound Elemental on the board, and it's got the option for Storm next turn too, which can actually buff that up. So pretty nice play by him.
Yeah, I don't think we're likely to see a Storm, especially since I think Admirable's most likely just going to totem up again.
Yeah.
It does also give him like a really good draw into into a Feral Spirits as we see Savjz hugging his pillow. But yeah, like
Whatever
he
makes
could
him
top deck the
comfortable.
Feral. He has a minion on board and can just throw down that totem if he chooses. And like I said, Admirable doesn't really have a whole lot of pressure, so Savjz is going to have a lot of options next turn.
Okay, so it looks like he's just going to attack face here, and like you said, he's just going to totem. I think it's going to be the best thing. He might be, he can save that Downless for Lightning Storm on turn 5. Argus is probably going to be the play next turn if he has anything on the board here, but definitely almost an empty turn for Admirable here.
Yeah, it looks like he's still thinking. He might want to just throw down Thanos to cycle it, but I think toteming is going to be, in general, just a little bit better. Especially if Savjz just kind of plays another minion. He'll probably just clear the spell power totem.
So this is an interesting play by Savjz here. So he plays this Manatide totem, and I think he makes that play because Admirable didn't remove his Unbound Elemental last turn with either a Rock Biter or a Lightning Bolt. So he probably knows that he doesn't have a 3 damage spell on him right now. So that's a really smart play by Savjz. But the Argus ends up, being able to create 3 damage there and remove it. But good read.
Yeah, it was a very good read. Those Unbound Elementals generally are things that you really have to clear out quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw his opponent without a lightning bolt or a rock biter, like you said. So, kind of unfortunate that he couldn't like feral spirits or something and get in, kill the totem, have a huge dominating board.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Manatite totem was a very good smart play.
So he's really hesitant to play this lightning bolt just because it's not getting a ton of value. Really, just removing the Argus and the heal totem there, but he ends up.
Wow, he rolled double 3s on that lightning storm.
I know, that's amazing. Actually, ends up clearing the board and ends up with a 3/5 on him. Just command of the board at this point. So
yeah,
great turn for him there. That's Admirable.
Admiral's got to be thinking, man, that lucky.
Lucky.
So lucky.
Gun. That's right.
So lucky.
Doesn't have a great play here. He's going to go ahead and just throw down the Manatide totem up, and hopefully he draws something good here. Okay, he gets an Unbound Elemental. Not too bad.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that Admirable has to just throw out the Manatide when he knows it's going to die next turn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's basically kind of like just a really weak shield block. Gets him 3 life, draws him a card, but not exactly what he wants to be doing with this turn.
Yeah, it definitely was more of a dig move than anything else. Got to dig for a card when your hand's not very strong at this point. Okay, so he's got 6 mana here. He's got the Pyromancer now, which actually gives him an additional damage if he wants from his Lightning Storm, but he's going to opt for more of a board, just as kind of establishing the board, going with 3 minions, taunting up those 2, and I think that's a good play. Yeah.
I like that play a lot better than using a Storm there. The Storm is basically just kills the Unbound, or doesn't even necessarily kill the Unbound, actually.
Yeah, the Fire Elemental comes down for Savjz. Strong play. He's got another one in his hand, too, so sometimes when there's mirror matchup, it's just who gets those fire elementals down first.
Yep. And I think this play is going to be pretty clearly like Totem, Thanos, and Storm. He does really need to kind of keep Savjz's board as clear as possible, just because he's also not drawing anything.
Yeah.
And that's a way to very easily clear Savjz's board.
Yeah, he removes it pretty efficiently, that first Fire Elemental, so definitely works out. But again, Savjz has another... He's got a pretty good follow-up here. It's a little bit... His hand is a little bit, I guess, clunky, as you could say, just because there's so much high mana cards here. But
he's got 2 hexes facing down a Thanos and a Searing.
That's true. He's got crazy power. I mean, just crazy answers in his hand right now.
Yeah. But,
that's one.
Really good draw for Admirable.
Yeah, ends up being able to remove the Azure Drake, and given that it's just going to be hexed, definitely good value there for him.
Yeah, and he's able to clear out both the Drake and the Totem from Savjz.
Yeah, and Savjz draws Alkir too. And he already has a Rockbiter. This is looking quite ideal for him right now.
Yeah, although, well, he does have quite a few options here. He goes with hexing the Fire Ellie and clearing the Frog immediately with the Pyro beforehand. But, yeah, I mean, if he uses that Alec here for value, Admirable does have a really good response in his hand.
Yeah, he does. It looks like, okay, so Admirable is looking at... He's got some options. The Argent Commander is a good draw here. He can actually remove the Unbound Elemental for... for good value there, and a 2-for-1 with the Argent Commander is always going to be ideal and the most common situation, honestly. So the Pyromancer is already damaged, so you kind of got to choose whether you want to proc it again or if you just want to kind of throw it in there and get the full 3 damage from it.
Yeah, I think he'll hit face with the Pyro and then bolt the 2/4.
Yeah.
Followed by... Actually, it's probably better to... No, it's not better to Totem first. Yeah, just hit face, bolt the 2/4, throw down that Fire Elemental, and roll a Totem.
Yeah.
That's what I would expect anyways, but, he might have some other ideas.
He could, say, hit it, bolt it, and then he can throw, Fire Elemental down there if he wants. That's what he does here. Okay, no, he's going to Totem, and...
He could also just throw down that Defender of Argus, actually. And then bolt the Unbound Elemental. It maintains his 2 guys, and so he values the Searing Totem over the 3 damage, which
okay. I mean, he avoided
that ordering at least.
Yeah. All right, so Savjz sitting on the board, looking pretty good with a 6/5 and 1/1. Admirable still hasn't drawn any of those hexes, which are the most efficient way to remove the Fire Elemental. So this turn's actually going to be pretty tough for him. He's got no way to bump up his Lightning Storm unless he totems an Air Totem here. But
he go all in and Gadgets and Lightning Storm draw into a Rockbiter or a Lightning Bolt. Miracle Shaman.
Miracle Shaman. The single miracle.
The one, Miracle Shaman, draw 1 card.
Exactly. I don't know, I think the Unbound Storm would maybe be a little bit better card draw, but, you want to get it something a little bit better. You want to give your Gadget at least a chance to draw more cards, and at least you get it buffed up with the okay, so he's not going to even run the Lightning Bolt. He's just going to play these 2 minions here, I think he's hoping that the Fire Elemental is going to run into the Unbound and then give him an opportunity to remove it with the Lightning Storm next turn. But it doesn't look like he's going to be that lucky. The Argus is going to be able to pump it up enough that it can be out of the range of a Lightning Bolt without spell damage.
True, but if he does Argus, then he's gonna have BGH as well.
Oh, true. Yeah, BGH. Yeah, that's very
So
very true.
I don't think Savjz will Argus his
Even if he
fire
flame
elemental,
tongues
and I
it
don't
right
think
now.
he's gonna flame tongue it.
Oh, he is going to fire. Oh, he's got a flame tongue or fire. You don't think he's going to do either? Yeah, so he's going to actually Argus it. It'd be pretty hard to make that read, not to
Yeah,
either
and
flame tongue or Argus.
that's a super advantageous defender of Argus for Admirable.
Admirable, yeah, it works out, and he draws a hex too. So he's got multiple answers, but I think the big game hunters,
The easy big game hunter. You're not going to find another target in Shaman most likely, and
Yeah,
I'd
you're
probably
lucky.
follow.
You're lucky to
Lightning
find
Storm.
a target. Yeah, exactly. Oh, he might be thinking
BGH
Black Knight too.
Photo.
He's got Black Knight opportunity too. He's got a lot
Yeah.
of choices.
I think the Black Knight has a little bit more application than the BGH. BGH, you need it to be specifically Flame Tongued or Defender of Argus,
Yeah.
and Black Knight can at least kill a taunt totem.
Okay, so he's gonna opt for the BGH, and he doesn't have anything that's gonna. Well, actually, he has the Lightning Storm that he can play now, and hopefully he removes that Flame Tongue totem. Actually, hopefully he removes all of them, which he did.
Oh,
He rolled
got
threes.
the full threes again.
Triple threes, man. Lotto ticket time, man.
So-
Lotto ticket.
Pretty big. Savjz might actually just throw down Alakir here for value. Like, as mentioned, that was a possibility, and
Yeah.
oh man, okay. Well, he doesn't do it, which saves his Alakir basically. It would have only been
Well,
3 damage.
I think the reason he didn't do it is because both of his fire elementals are gone now. A lot of his, a lot of the power, a lot of the damage that is in his deck is already gone to the wayside. So Alakir is gonna be probably the main thing that's gonna be able to do damage to him. And now he doesn't even have board control. So this is looking pretty rough for Savjz.
Yeah, the other big thing is he could have won the game if he had top decked a Rockrider, and if Admirable didn't get a taunt. So I guess it's a pretty good reason to. He's definitely less controlled.
Okay, so Savjz is trying to figure out what to do here. He's going to go ahead and hex the fire elemental. This is definitely the most optimal play or just the most optimal target for hex here. Going to go ahead and Argus it, get some minions on the board, and it's just a target for the Black Knight now for Admirable. Black Knight, for those who don't know, is able to just remove a taunted unit and get a 4/5 on the board too. So it's a extremely value card.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that he's got a hex as well. So if he wanted to, he can still have an answer for Alakir and just throw down the Black Knight.
Okay, so he's actually saving the Black Knight. He opts to go for the draws with the Gadgetzan.
Shaman.
Miracle Shaman. It's raining money, it's raining coins. Okay, so he's in a really strong position here. He's got 5 minions on the board. Did Savjz use both of his lightning? I think he might have one more lightning storm, right, Savjz?
Yeah, Savjz has one more Lightning Storm. Admirable's used both of his.
Okay, so he can still draw into it.
Savjz is very close to just being dead, which is kind of unfortunate. He's counting up the damage, and I think he's just kind of assuming that Admirable has at least, 3 or 4 more points of damage in his hand, although we know that he doesn't. He's kind of looking at one more turn kind of thing.
I think he's going to have to use Alakir here to remove the Gadgetzan. He can swing at the 0-2 with his weapon. Alakir's first hit probably be on the frog, and then he could remove... he could either remove the BGH, but that's not going to help you that much. He's going to... Admirable's still going to be able to draw.
I don't think he can win the game if he uses Alakir here, so it might just be better to...
Okay.
Yeah, because if he top decks the other Rockbiter and...
Okay, that's a good point.
Admirable doesn't taunt next turn, then he could potentially kill him with Alakir's, perfect 18.
Yeah,
so it might just be better to throw out the Argent and kill both of the taunters, because he doesn't really have a good way to get damage through, especially with Admirable's board if he loses Alakir.
Yeah, he's probably hoping for a taunt totem too, which actually a taunt totem would end up being pretty brutal too, given that he's got a Black Knight. It's minimal value, but still, it's at least a target for the the Black Knight. So he ends up doing that.
You know, it would have actually. I think it's better to just have the Argent Commander kill the frog, because if you kill the taunt totem, Admirable can actually just roll another taunt totem.
Oh well, he's gonna remove both anyways, right? He's gonna swing with this weapon too.
Yeah, but if he because if you keep the weapon charged, then Admirable cannot roll a taunt totem,
Okay, sure.
and then you're looking at
Okay, so
killing
this
the
is
taunt totem, and it's basically
is-
just a 25% chance, or
Okay,
actually a
this is-
1 out of 3 chance.
all right. This is almost lethal here. Is it lethal? Actually, I can't. It's kind of hard to tell. Okay, he does have lethal. Too, and he actually played